Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the Infinity Crusade. This is after the Infinity War saga of back in the day, which I'm not going to say that I've read it and I haven't, but I'm assuming it's very close to Infinity War timeline in the movies because it has Thanos as the big bad guy and they mention Thanos in here as a big bad guy. So don't really need to go deeper than that. But who's this lady? And then why is a guy like Adam Warlock bigger on the cover? What's really going on here? Spoilers alert. This is the Infinity Crusade Part 1 from 1993. So we start off with Bro inside of a gem getting watched by somebody. He's being watched by the Redemptress. She's not originally the Redemptress. She's going to be just a kind of vision version of herself. But she basically kills Adam Warlock. Doesn't really kill him, but throws him back into the orb that she comes out of and is able to become the Redemptress. And when she does this, she starts giving visions to anybody that's religious or has seen the afterlife that's a hero. Okay? This is Living Lightning, Sasquatch, Black Knight, Nemerita. You got Hercules. You got Storm, Daredevil, obviously, right? Thor. These people that are literally like religious figures in their own mythological way, or characters like, Daredevil, who, are just blatantly a lot of times very Christian or whatever, right? Very interesting, very interesting. She's able to indoctrinate these people and give them beliefs. There's a whole like 18 pages, it feels like, where she just goes up to every single religious one after giving them visions earlier, right? Saying stuff like this: believe me, Daredevil, I feel the pain the years have heaped onto your shoulders. I share it. So like that's manipulative, ain't it? Or saying to Spider-Man, my aim, gallant Spider-Man, is to tear down the wall separating the human spirit from celestial bliss. So it's like, oh, who's gonna say no to something like that, right? Or to Doctor Strange, out of all people: to do this, I have come to beings like yourself, Doctor Strange, who are deeply in touch with the spiritual side of their nature. So clearly, people who are deeply spiritual. That is also proven later on as they're all talking, right? Vision is kind of leading the, hey, we need to fix this. Here's a scene of all of them saying yes to her and like doing kind of the, bad sign with their hand. But that's all, the characters like that being like, oh, yes, we agree. Silver Surfer's including that, by the way. So is Scarlet Witch. Ton of powerful characters where it's like, oh, no, how are they going to overcome this? Well, we're not going to figure that part out. This is really just a bunch of building up. But if we figure it out later, Vision's like, yeah, all of them are religious or have something like that. And Beast is like, hey, I believe there's a God. Why didn't I get snatched along with the others? And Vision said, obviously, because your belief in a supreme being is not deeply felt. And it's also not well known by others. So everybody that was taken either has a deep, well-known connection with people or has experienced an afterlife and came back from it. And if you think about all these characters, that's super true, especially with a guy like Archangel, whose whole plot of how he became Archangel was because he was angel, died, and rose again. Pretty cool plot. I honestly, this is one that, when we're talking about comics that build up things, definitely one that's worth a read. I'm going to give it a 7. I can't give it more than a 7 when it's really just a build-up comic. But it's a very good one, and it does make me want to read more. And it literally gives me what I need to read next to continue the Infinity Crusade saga, which is really cool. Adam Warlock Chronicles #1. And then 2 weeks later, Warlock and the Infinity Watch #18. And then back to Infinity Crusade #2. So will I get those eventually and connect them through to this one? Yes. Look forward to that in the coming months probably, because I do want to get through some other things. But we will probably move on to Silver Surfer because I have Silver Surfer from about 91, 92, and it's also Celestial Beings and stuff like that. So look for Silver Surfer comic reviews coming from me soon. I have about 4 or 5 from the few years that a thing like this takes place. So yeah, Silver Surfer will be the next thing I read, and we will eventually get back to the Infinity Crusade. Thank you guys for watching, and Comic Reviewing Affleck is out.